Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the Delicates collection from NWP Paint's Classic Essentials. This is kind of an offshoot of NWP Paints. These are considerably more inexpensive than traditional indies. They are $6 a piece or $30 for the set of 6. These specific polishes were kind of meant to be more of, you know, like OPI does their soft shades and Essie does their bridal collection, and they kind of all have sheer, like semi-transparent, you can still see your nail line, but they look really nice and make your nails look clean kind of polishes. That's what these are. So I'm really excited about these. I really like these, and I'm just really excited to show them to you because these are some of my favorite kind of polishes, actually. Especially in the springtime. So I will link the website down below. Those did release earlier today, so I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is called Mary, and this is a slightly grayish white. Again, the polishes in this collection are meant to be sheer, so you're still going to be able to see your nail line even after 3 coats. I'm going to go ahead and do 3 coats just so you can see how different they could look between 1, 2, and 3. So here's 1 coat. So you can see that this one is very sheer on the first coat. They just kind of give a wash of color. This is never going to be opaque on its own, but it's not meant to. This is a little tiny bit streaky when you first apply it, but it does kind of even out as it dries, and as you add the second and third coat, it really evens out. So formula is really good as well. So here's 2 coats. So this one is applying pretty evenly. It's not like as even as they can possibly come, but it is good. And that's the most important thing with sheer polishes like this, is that they apply evenly. Because if they have streaks in them, but they're too sheer to be built up to completely opaque, you can never get rid of the streaks. So here's 3 coats. And this has a very slight shimmer to it as well. It's kind of hard to pick up unless you're in certain lights. And this also dries a little bit dull, so you will want a top coat. I think I actually like this best with 2 coats rather than 3. So there is 3 coats of Mary. The next polish is called Pennie, and this is a light pink. It's going to look very washed out on my camera, but it definitely has more of a pink tone to it in person. So here's 1 coat. Sorry if my hands are really red. I just had to spend like 20 minutes standing on my porch talking to this guy trying to sell me DirecTV after I told him that I already have DirecTV. Formula is great on this one, and this is another one that is meant to be sheer, and this covers very evenly as well. So here's 2 coats. And because these polishes are so sheer, they are really good for jelly sandwiches or pond manicures, which I have not done but really want to try. Which is basically like a layer of a jelly and then a stamp or some kind of like nail art dots or something, and then another layer of jelly on it, and then more dots and more jelly. They look really cool. So here's 3 coats. This one also has a slight shimmer to it as well, if I didn't mention that. It is taking a little bit of careful application to make sure that I don't have any streaks on this 3rd coat, though. The ones that are there aren't bad, but they are there. So there is 3 coats of Pennie. The next polish is Stella, and this is a light sheer nude. This has a bit of a stronger shimmer than the other ones so far that have had a really subtle shimmer. This one is way more obvious, and I feel like the particles are a little bit bigger as well. So here's 1 coat. Again, pretty sheer on the first coat. Great formulas on these though. For being lighter sheer colors, I'm surprised that they don't have the kind of formula where it runs down the sides of the nail. Usually any kind of light sheer color like this is a little bit runny, but these aren't at all. So here's 2 coats. I think the coverage on this one so far is the most even out of all of them. Covers very evenly. And it does dry dull, so you will want a top coat. So here's 3 coats. This one covers most even, I think, out of all the ones that I've done so far. And again, great formula on these as well. They don't run or pool anywhere, which is really surprising for sheer polishes. So there is 3 coats of Stella. The next polish is Amanda, and this is a baby pink. Again, it's showing up a little bit washed out on camera. So here's 1 coat. And this one is also very sheer, but it looks like it covers pretty evenly as well. And again, great formula. It doesn't want to run or pool anywhere. So here's 2 coats. This one also covers pretty evenly so far. There's really no streaks at all. There are a few when you first apply it, but they even out as it dries. This dries a little bit dull as well, so you will definitely want top coat. So here's 3 coats. I do really like the pink color that this builds up to. And this one, I think, is the first one that doesn't have any shimmer to it. If there is shimmer in there, I can't see it, but I don't think it has any. So there is 3 coats of Amanda. The next polish is called Lorraine, and this is a mint green. So here's 1 coat. This is another sheer polish that is meant to be sheer. And this has a shimmer to it that's strong, like the shimmer that was in Stella. Not super strong, but just stronger than the first 2 polishes. So here's 2 coats. This one also covers pretty evenly. It's not like the most even coverage ever. It's a little bit streaky, but it's not bad. It also dries a little bit dull, so you will want a top coat. So here's 3 coats. And I never thought or even pictured the possibility of like a sheer mint polish like this, but I actually really like it. I think if you had explained this to me, I would have thought it was the worst idea ever, but now actually seeing it, it looks nice. So there is 3 coats of Lorraine. And the last polish is called Terra, and this is kind of a medium gray with a pink shimmer. So here is 1 coat. I think this one might be the most opaque on the first coat so far of any of them. Well, this is the last one, so of any of them. This one I do feel like pools up on the side of my nail just a tiny bit. Not a lot, and you probably won't notice it after the first coat, but I can see where it's a little bit thicker on the sides. So here's 2 coats. I definitely think that this is the most opaque out of all of them. The shimmer in here, I can see it on my nail, like if I look at it closely, but it is very subtle. And this one also dries a little bit dull, so you will want a top coat. So here's 3 coats. And this one is actually almost completely opaque in the 3 coats. It's not completely there, but it is very close. And it doesn't want to run or pool beyond that first coat. And I tend to do these without base coat, just so I can see how they apply on their own. So I think with a base coat, it probably wouldn't run at all. So there is 3 coats of Terra. So I think my favorites are Stella and Amanda. I think these both covered the most evenly out of the entire collection, and I liked the way that these ones looked on my skin tone as well. And I do really like these sheer polishes. I think I like both of these better with 2 coats rather than 3. So that is the Native War Paints Classic Essentials Delicates collection. Again, these are available right now. I will link the website down below where you guys can check these out because they are $6 a piece or the whole set for $30. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.